Hi! Today I'm talking about comparing and despairing. It's a great way to get yourself depressed, isn't it? Comparing your insides to other people's outsides. But before I get started, I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And if you aren't already, I'd love you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, clicking the little bell to never miss a video. And apparently if you click like on this video, only if you like it, it really helps the channel. So I'd really appreciate that too. Now let's get into the video. Hey, welcome back to my little series on mental health struggles and addiction. Today I want to talk about compare and despair. I love that phrase. If I compare myself to other people, it's a recipe for disaster and despair. Like, it's the quickest way to get depressed, isn't it? And in social media age, we just wake up and we start bombarding ourselves with other people's. It's their outsides, isn't it? We compare our insides to their outsides. So people are presenting their best life online, and then I will compare that to my life inside, which they're not even showing. And I'm setting myself up for failure and depression straight away by doing that. It's just a recipe for disaster and despair. One thing I've noticed is that speaking for myself, I only ever compare myself to people that seem to be in a better place than me. Have you noticed that? Do you do that? Do you ever compare yourself to people that are in a worse position? Why does human nature, why do we never do that? It's only the people that are perceived to be doing better that I'll compare myself to, and it's such a recipe for a dark place. Someone said something to me recently which I found was amazing, that everyone's been designed to be a certain way on this earth, and the way you've been designed and created and put here is the way you're supposed to be. And I'll fall into the trap of, I need to be more like this person. Do you do that? I need to be more louder and assertive and abrasive and, angry. I'm not naturally like that. I'm a soft spoken person, and I try not to get, I don't really get angry. Like, the amount of times I've been like incredibly angry, I can count on like one hand. But very often I'll say to myself, you need to be more assertive. And I know people that are super assertive. And I used to be really good friends with a guy who was just assertive. That was his only thing. He was loud and he was assertive. And he got through life by just crowbarring his way through life. And I was like, oh man, I need to be more like him. Like, he's getting a lot of success by just steamrolling people and stuff like that. Why am I not like that? And then I was like, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to teach myself how to be like that. I'm going to learn how to be like that. And for about a week, I would get into like conversations with people, get into like situations with people, and I would try to be like him and try to be really aggressive and really loud, and it was so stupid and it totally didn't work. It would be like I'd be trying to be like that, and my voice would be all cracking, and it was totally unbelievable. And looking back at it, I must have looked so stupid. Imagine me trying to like have a full-on shouting match with someone. It's not what I'm like, and it was so unauthentic. I think it was probably more funny than scary. I was trying to be scary, and I was just funny and stupid to people, because that's not me. And what I've realized since then is that I'm more quiet and I'm more reserved and I'm more of an introvert, and I've been designed that way and I've been built like that for a reason, and that's just the way that I deal with things. And I can't compare my more softer kind of approach to someone who's completely different, because if I try to be like them, I'm not honoring what I've been created like, you know what I mean? So for some reason I've been created this way, and I've found it easier to accept that recently. For some reason I am quieter and more reserved and more introverted, and I can deal with life in that way. And I don't have to compare myself to someone who's really shouty and really aggressive. And I used to get down on myself and say, you're not good enough because you're not assertive, and you don't get your way by shouting, and you don't scare people. But in recent years, I've become a lot more peaceful by realizing not everyone's the same. And I feel like I've been created this way, so it's time to honor that and just accept it. I guess it's acceptance, isn't it? It's acceptance rather than comparing and despairing. So, and ever since I've found peace with that, like I'm going through some stuff at the moment, renovating a house, and I feel sometimes I think of that guy and I'm like, he would be screaming and shouting and he would be getting things done by just being loud, and I'm not really like that, and I'm trying to be like nice. Am I too nice? But then I realized that my way is actually effective as well, because I'm trying to lead with love. It's just I'm not trying to, I just naturally do that. So I'm just more reserved and nicer to people, but I feel like that works as well. It just works differently. And if I compare myself to this guy, I'm gonna get depressed. I'm gonna feel like I'm not good enough and I'm not dealing with life the right way. But his way is right for him and my way is right for me. So I think it's time for me to, well, I have kind of accepted it. I stopped trying to be different. I stopped trying to be something I'm not. I think that's huge. It's given me much more peace of mind to stop trying to be something I'm not. And I can just concentrate on being more me, being more authentically me. Life is a learning experience, isn't it? But the one thing I have definitely learned, and the one thing that I feel is guaranteed to get me depressed and guaranteed to get me started off on the wrong foot every day, is comparing and then despairing. Because, like I say, I'm comparing my insides to other people's outsides. And especially with social media and stuff like that, people are presenting only their best. And you can't measure up to someone's curated life when they're only showing the best, because no one's life is like that. And it's very dangerous for me, especially if I get up first thing in the morning and put on Instagram. That's a nightmare for me. And I don't, probably is for you as well. Let me know in the comments. Do you do that? I wake up and I'm being better now, but I used to wake up and put on Instagram and immediately it's like, oh, let's just hit my head against the wall for 20 minutes. Let's wake up, hit my head against the wall for 20 minutes. That would be just as much good would come from that. Let's wake up and stab my own face with matchsticks. That's what getting up and getting straight into social media, straight into comparing and despairing, that's what it's like. It's not healthy, and it's a recipe for despair. So I just wanted to talk about that this week. I'm trying not to compare and despair. I'm trying to be more of what I am naturally. I don't try to think I need to be more like this person anymore, because I realized I've been designed a certain way. I need to be more like I am. If anything, that's a recipe for a happier life for me, to try and be more like me and not to try and be more like this person. It took me a while to learn that. And when I learned it, I started to feel better. So I just wanted to talk about that today. Do you compare and despair? Do you get up and go straight on social media and see people's outsides and compare them to your insides? And does it get you depressed? Let me know in the comments. And what do you do to combat it? I look forward to speaking to you every week. So this is nice for me. And I hope you're getting something from it too. Love you guys. Speak next week.